What is up everyone, it's TK and welcome back to the channel. I'm recording this video quite late, but I wanted to show you this strategy that my friend Amin is using in the CWL, and this is going to be used in a lot of the tournaments, as you already may have seen, and in general it's just non-defendable. So let's dive in and see how he crushes the bases. Here we are on the first attack, and we got my friend Amin going in with this RC charge, Root Rider, Valkyries. This army is just crazy, man. It's probably more broken than the Dragon army. I'm not too sure, but I feel like the way this army can be used is like, yeah, no CC can really defend. Like with the Dragons, is like if there's a very annoying CC, or if there is a very annoying core that you pop the wrong warden ability, like everything could go wrong. But with this one, there is literally nothing that can go wrong. I can tell you that. Now look at this RC charge. Is he gonna recall or something? No, he's just gonna let the RC die because obviously he doesn't have a recall. Why did I think he's gonna recall? Now where does he start? He's gonna pop the queen giant arrow just to get the healers behind the queen, because that is what is happening in this strategy. You want to have the queen on the outside with the siege barracks to help and get some value. Root Rider's going in. Notice the skeleton spell, beautifully done on the monolith. Now he's gonna go in with all he got. Unfortunately, the queen is coming back around, so that means on the outside layers he won't have the good funnel. So you're gonna see what exactly happens, and this is why you want to have the queen on the outside, because notice now the Root Riders going to the air defense. They could end up going to the mortar, archer tower, wizard tower, just to the outside, and then not go in the core. That is what's gonna happen, as you can already see. So always have the queen with the siege barracks on the outside, and don't get, just wrong funnels. Now, where does he use the overgrowth? It's kind of based depending on how exactly you need to be using it, just because the overgrowth spell give you a lot of values when there's a lot of defenses right next to each other. And in this case, we got the town hall, scatter shots, and the ricochet cannon. You don't want to overgrowth everything, because at the end of the day, you need to go through some damage at the beginning before the overgrowth runs out, and then once the overgrowth runs out, you then dive back into the town hall. You don't have to necessarily make the town hall even overgrowth, because it doesn't have the poison like we used to have back in town hall 16. And notice he's still got the king ability, waiting till the overgrowth goes up and absolutely crushing this attack with a swag spell on the clan castle. This strategy is just so simple to use, man. It's super simple. But let's talk more about the RC charge. So here we are on the second attack, and we got the rage tower in the core with a poison tower. Let's see how Amin does it. Now RC charges, you need to count those Fox seconds. He's gonna go in with the invisibility. You need to watch out by the time you drop the invis, so you can see how the perfect timing works. The RC has to take 1 or 2 hits before you drop the invis, because otherwise, look, she's gonna be on invisible and your Fox will take extra damage. If there is bombs, you will go through it. Again, he's gonna wait a bit. You have to wait slightly, and you can see the RC will again go a bit on invisible, so take some damage. Now he's gonna go with the ability, making sure things are going kind of crazy. You can see it's not as easy to control the RC when she's in the haste while ability. But let's see how Amin does the rest of the attack. Going with that giant arrow again, getting some nice values, and of course that funnel, you can see the beautiful cut it made with the giant arrow. Going with the barbarian archers to kill the clan castle on the left hand side. Skeleton spell again for the entrance to the monolith. Always you want to do that, because obviously it just gives you that free spell value later on in the base, or your king doesn't get cooked too much early in the beginning. You have the queen on the outside, the P.E.K.K.A.s. You want to funnel and wall break the queen usually, and depending on how many layers it still have, like for example this layer, you can see Amin is going to go ahead and wall break it really nicely for his queen to dive in. Unfortunately the healers died, but he's going to try to keep the queen alive. Now we have the warden ability in the core. He can rage it up, and you might be thinking, where does he use the overgrowth? It's always the question, right? So in this case, you don't even necessarily need it, but he's still gonna go ahead on the town hall and the back end, just because why not? Going with that king ability and absolutely crushing the space. He got super minions. He doesn't have RC, so you need to watch out and not waste your super barbarians for the cleanup, just because you can see, like, simply with the super barbarian and a headhunter, you can take out an enemy king and start cleaning up right behind. So Trust me when I say when the strategy is really, really, really broken. Like, I've never been like this familiar to a strategy that is on the ground and is so broken since the first release of the Root Riders. But this one is obviously undefendable just because the pathings could be way, way bad, but the RC will always give you that beautiful funnel. Here we have a double rage tower setup, and let's see how Amin takes it down. Now, he's gonna go in with a nice invisibility timing, and notice he got 4 healers in this army. Sometimes he used 2 and more Valkyries and Super Barbarians, depends obviously on the base you're hitting, but in general I will put the original army down below in the description, so if you want to use it in Legends League or anything, that is the main army. Now the RC can get a bit tricky with the way you control her once you pop the haste vial, okay? Trust me, it's gonna need some practice, okay? That is kind of the hardest part of this strategy, the only hardest part of this strategy, but we're gonna see how Amin managed to kind of get through, and wow, he got the town hall with the giant arrow, and this is one of the reasons he uses the giant arrow. In case RC is missing out on a certain defense, he can really angle the queen on the entrance and kind of get through that defense once the giant arrow is released. Warden King going in, and he's kind of waiting on the Root Riders because of the way, like the angle to the Wizard Tower. So he's gonna go in now with the Siege Barracks Barbarian. The Queen will give the funnel nicely. Now, hopefully, these Root Riders will go back around the base and also to the core. But notice the P.E.K.K.A.s, he's going to wall break them so they go to the next layer. And I think he's going to even wall break them further for this bomb tower, because it's important to keep your queen and the army keep on going. So let's see what he does. Root Riders opening up beautifully. King will also, I think, follow the Root Riders because the other wall is closed, and it's good he didn't wall break yet, because otherwise the King could have gone out, and that is bad. Now here is where, look at this King ability, beautifully opening the entire base. Healers unfortunately are going to get cooked here, I think, with those traps, but hopefully super minions coming from, I don't know. Now notice again, don't forget, he doesn't have that RC because you lose her at the beginning. So on the back end, don't try to place your spells too quickly. Don't try to place your super barbarians too quickly, thinking you have a RC to gather everything on the back end. You need your main army to finish the base off, especially your queen, because she has access to a lot of the buildings and defenses. So make sure you keep her alive. And of course, you can see how he having some, barbarians, and how the hell does he still have 2 P.E.K.K.A.s alive? That is insane. Still 3 heroes alive, and this is just a crushing attack from, let's go to the next attack. Lastly, we got this base that is very, very, very common in Legends League right now, and I actually made a tweet about it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've hit this base like 30 times now. I don't know what's going on, but let's see how this base goes down to these troops. So RC, he's gonna go in with the front invisibility, but notice the Fox, obviously it's going to end up dying, and that is one of the worst thing about the Fox and the RC, which, yeah, it has its good things and it has its bad things. So you need to see how you want to control her. Obviously, you can go with the Phoenix, but the Fox still good in this strategy. So now that DRC got the funnel, he's gonna use one Super Barbarian to get that, kind of and clean up right behind the RC. And I think he's gonna start from this side because obviously the path is more set, going with the giant arrow to make sure the invisibility tower goes off. The base building and the trap placement here is bad because of this Tesla could pull the Root Riders to the core, and that is a very bad trap, because yeah, it's just like, what's the point of your kind of separated, isolated core, right? But Queen and the P.E.K.K.A.s did amazing job on the funnel. Unfortunately, the Queen ended up going back in the base, but let's see how things will end up. Warden ability when he's negating the Rage Tower, but is he gonna overgrowth anything around the Town Hall? That is the question, because obviously there is a lot of damage, but he's just gonna go through with a freeze. That is interesting. Overgrowthing the back end, which had Monolith and the Ricochet Cannon, so the Root Rider's King ability and everything else will stay alive for a bit longer before negating that side of the base. Now, on the right side, he has to kill the enemy queen. So he can easily do it with a few super barbarians and a headhunter, and notice he always got that one headhunter and a few barbarians for the backend. But notice he just waits a bit and his main army will go eventually to the enemy queen. King ability opening up everything and absolutely crushing this base. Obviously, again, as I said, this strategy is just on another level. I would not recommend to use it, okay? But because the strategy, I have not done it on the channel, I really wanted to bring it, especially I haven't done Amin on the channel for a long time, and I wanted to bring him back because obviously he's a very good player, and hopefully he will be kind of successful with his new sponsor playing in the esports scene. And hard mode, obviously hard mode will have some impact in this strategy. I've seen a lot of people fail in the pro scene, maybe Klaus and these kind of big name players, but in the CWL, Wars, and Legends League, this strategy just does not fail. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the link will be down below in the description. And sorry when I'm recording in the dark, it's a bit harder for me to record, but I have to be somewhere. So I hope you're having an amazing day so far, and take care. Peace.